So I'm responding to Jamie Bakes, responding to me, it's going in a cycle here, but oh, this is just so irresistible. It's just so juicy. It's just great. Because honestly, just the fact that I'm just getting his knickers in a twist over this, it's just hilarious. But anyway, let's go over some few things. So the slacks were modified, new sculpting. No, there's a different Jamie. There's a difference between modifying a sculpt and doing a new one. Completely different. I'll give you an example. Okay, so cast your minds back to the 11 Doctors set from 2010. The 4th Doctor's coat in that set was a modified Pyramids of Mars coat sculpt, where basically they'd added a sort of speckled sort of texture, tweed effect to it, and the extra 2 pockets on the back. Wasn't a brand new sculpt. What they'd done is basically they'd taken one of the existing mould sculpts that they had for it and they just slightly tweaked it. And basically that is what is done for the arc set. If they are pegged in, then that is basically what they've done. They've taken one of the older, remember they are the oldest slack sculpts, so yeah, if they were going to do a brand new sculpt, then why wouldn't they just use the newer one and not the older one? So yeah, there's the case there. So yeah, tweaking a sculpt is not the same as making a new one. Like, I'll give you the most infamous example as well. The Imperial Dalek slats. Yeah, giving them mesh to be the Renegade Daleks, which, you know, is alright until when it comes to re-releasing an Imperial Dalek and, oh no, we've permanently modified all of the slack sculpts that we've got. Oh dear. But anyway, let's get on to his next point. So the parts are from the Leela are from the Clara figure, not the Leela figure. Look at the figures, entirely different boots, new sculpt. I don't think you watched my video properly. I didn't say that the boots were the same sculpt. I said they were tweaked. So yeah, if you look at the boots, very similar to the 2 of them and the shape of them, and they could be a new piece. But judging on the way that they sit, it could also be likely that they are an existing one. They could be new. I'm not saying this decisively. I'm not saying this is there's a fucking helicopter going past, if you can hear that right now. But yeah, as I said, a lot of these, like the rest of the leg and that on here, the legs and that, they are reused parts. The point is they're reused parts. I don't get why you have such a problem with me saying, look, there are parts reused on this figure. Like, does it matter that if it is from the Clara figure and not the Leela figure? My point was that they're reused. And again, with the Dalek, it might have a tweaked sculpt, but it's not a brand new one. It's not brand new. It saves a lot of money there. So, yeah. I'm just going to have a look at the comments there. Bro said then removing the paints and using coloured moulding was cost-cutting. I mean, it is cheaper to do that. Like, whether Alduar, thinks it's better or not, regardless, that is a cost-cutting measure that other companies do. That is just I can't speak at the moment. A cost-cutting measure. So, yeah. Even though Hal has said on record that they're doing it to higher detail and head sculpt, I believe Alduar believes this. I do believe Alduar believes this, but the reason Character as a company would be happy with this, more than happy with this, is because it means, hey, we're saving some money there. So Character will be more than happy to do it as a company. So, yeah, that's why a lot of companies do it. And you know what? Sometimes it can be to great effect. But in terms of flesh tones, doesn't work as well on flesh tones, unfortunately. Some things it does, But like, for example, a lot of the TARDIS, most of the TARDISes, like the ones at B&M, most of them aren't painted, which is why if you shine a light to them and that the light goes through them quite easily, and that you can see a light going through them, because a lot of them are just basically sprayed up and that afterwards. Only the Forbidden Planet ones and the Jodie one were actually painted, from what I recall. I could be wrong about that one, so don't quote me on that, but those ones are actually painted. The boxes are actually painted, and then weathering and everything is added on, whereas with the most of the B&M ones, to save on cost, that was the reason for it, to save on cost with these TARDIS sets, they basically were just moulded in the plastic colour, which, you know what, doing that method, I'm fine with it. It looks perfectly fine. No issues whatsoever. But when it comes to flesh tones, just doesn't work. Some it works better than others. But as I said, with that Sixth Doctor figure, he looks dead. He honestly, like, he does not look well at all. Particularly if you compare it to previous releases. So, yeah. Basically, I'm not saying it's something that could never be done, but, you know, also, if Alduar was all banging on this, you know, going all this forward, you know, remember, the Sixth Doctor was the only figure from last year where this was the case. The only one. Now, could this be it was too late in the game for this? I don't know, but, yeah. And I'm going to hear the thing of, oh, what about this Star Wars Black Series figures or the Marvel Select figures and that? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they're not, the Character Options figures are not in the same league. They're just not. I'm sorry, but they're not. Like, seriously, what one is basically highly detailed, highly articulated, you know, collector's item with a load of accessories and that, no expenses spared with it. And that, which most of them have brand new sculpts for every single figure, and the other one is, you know, reusing, which is character, which are reusing parts at every opportunity. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But, you know, it's like basically having, say, a burger and a steak. You know, I like burgers and I like steaks and that, but generally a burger's going to be a lot cheaper, and that's a lot easier and that to produce. Sorry, not easier to produce, cheaper and that. So yeah, just saying. I think that was a pretty bad analogy, regardless, but yeah, this is just irresistible. This is irresistible, and if he does make another one about me, then who knows? Let me know if actually this is something you'd like to see me do, respond to other YouTubers and that, well, not really YouTube, other people and that about this, and give my own thoughts, because, yeah, I'm not lying, like, initially it was just for that, but now it's just, I just love how, you know, basically I've got his knickers in a twist over this. Like, he is clearly, like, a devoted Alduar follower, shall we say, because, there is a certain amount of people who basically, you know, will follow anything Alduar says or does, whether he's right or wrong about this, and regardless of anything else, I still like the Runes of Skaro set. I still like it regardless. I think it's overpriced, and also the Dalek is not correct. If it was based on a different prop, it'd be fine. But the prop it's based off should have a raised neck section, and that, and also it should be glossy, and that. I'll give him a little bit of slack on that, and the fact that out of all the props, it had the least amount out of all of them. But yeah, regardless, like, it is what it is, unfortunately. So yeah. Also, that is the fucking blurriest screenshot I've seen. Like, seriously, that video was would have been recorded in 1440p. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's up with like screenshots and that on there, but And anyway, regardless, so any other comics on there's a bloody advert. In fairness, we live in a post-truth, post-truth world. Not sure what that is meant to mean. Sorry, I'm not clued up on that. Where people and their opinions is over reality. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you know, I can have my opinions on this on the set. He can have the opinions on the set. Now, there are some facts that you can't change because, for example, the Dalek is inaccurate. It is inaccurate to the prop it is based on. That is just a fact. Unfortunately, because it doesn't have the raised neck section. So that's just a fact. There's nothing really you can opinionate on that. It is just a fact. It should have a raised neck section. If it was based on a different prop, then it would have been fine, because some did, some didn't. Most of them did. Anyway. Let it go. You enjoy things you create and amazing things you own. I expect insults from Sculpting. I'm fine with it. I aim to create, not to destroy. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Regardless, like, you know, I'm doing this because it's entertaining myself. Actually, I'm doing these responses because I'm finding it rather funny. And to be honest, I need a bit of cheering up and that at the minute with this. So, yeah, but just the fact that I've with the Ruins of Skaro set, it's pissed so many people off about it, and I really don't know why. I really don't know why it's pissed so many people off about it. Like, you know, if that was such the case, if that's such the case, that my opinion, made you feel so bad. Like, my opinion, shouldn't make you suddenly feel bad about your purchase if you did even purchase it at all. And that, if you like it, great. I like it. And that, but, I'm still going to have my critiques. And I felt I was pretty fair with it. I felt I was very fair with it. Because, to be honest, I could have gotten harsher. But anyway, I also worked something out as well. So, you're right, Jamie Bates. I got the calculations wrong. It's 98% of people who bought it mainly for the Dalek. Then it was 1.99% who bought it for the Movellans. And then the remaining bought it for the piece of cardboard, which was the backdrop. Because apparently that's a feature. Not just that's a nice little extra. No, it's apparently a feature now. So, yeah. But regardless, I've nassed on enough. So there we go, people. There we go.